Welcome back, everybody. Back by popular demand. So let's go ahead and go through it. Get started with it. I ain't gonna waste no time today. Talk about this April Fool's Day. How they claim nobody know where it came from, and they think it came from, France switching calendars and all of that stuff. And some people wasn't aware of the switch, so they was April Fools because they still was celebrating it on New Year's. Just a little piece of history for everybody right there. My big thing with April and the first Sunday thing, that's one thing that bothers me. This thing about Jesus being basically massacred and then rising again a few days later. They say 3 days, but they say they brought him down on Friday and he rose 3 days later. Sunday was only 2 days. So, all that old funny stuff. Then they turn around and have you messing around with a rabbit with eggs. What sense does that make? That's like just been totally confusing to me. The rabbit laying eggs for Easter. It's all fun and games for the kids with the chocolate and all of that stuff, but really, what's the backstory on that? What are you trying to prove? What mind game is all behind that? So, just like all these holidays, I got something to say about all of them. But Easter just passed, so I'm talking about Easter. And the other thing about it is everybody is so caught up in the Easter when it's rolling around. The weirdos go to church the one day out the whole year, haven't been going to church or nothing, but they go buy Easter clothes and, go pile up in the churches for Easter. That's just retarded to me. And, what's the point? Is everybody celebrating the murder of Jesus? That's what it seemed like to me, because there was nothing good about the way he got killed. I know it was an inevitable thing, and it was something to teach us. The thing about it was that we were supposed to pay attention to what happened to him and see that the worst thing can happen to you in the world. But it doesn't mean that you need to ever curse God or not believe. That's what I felt like the sacrifice of Jesus was all about. Not all these people wearing crucifixes and all of this different stuff. To me, that's the wrong thing to do, to be wearing those crucifixes and all that type of stuff. That's a representation of a murder. If your child get killed with a gun, you gonna start wearing guns around your neck? Or you gonna start wearing guns with the kid laid out? That's what I'm talking about. People don't pay attention to what they're doing. You wear necklaces and things like that with this man stretched out on it, nails in his hands and feet, thorns on his head, stabbed in the side, branded, all wrongfully. That's nothing to celebrate. That's nothing to be posted up in churches and all of that stuff. Churches have failed a lot of us, so the thing is, go to church as long as you can. Church is a good thing, but not for everybody. Some of us outgrow church, and that's what happened. It's okay to outgrow church. It's not okay to think you outgrown religion and spirituality, though. You're supposed to continue to search. You're supposed to continue to congregate. You're supposed to continue your covenant with God, your covenant that you made with people. You're supposed to continue to improve. The churches are ran by men, so of course you can outgrow them, because men have their own agendas. I didn't really want to go there, but it's some pastors that I respect, but at the same time, they've started to fail me because I can see their faults. And for some reason, they don't see them. I don't know if they have a place they go and reflect or not, but they need to start reflecting on themselves, watching themselves, seeing what they're doing, seeing the company they got, seeing the things what's happening surrounding them. But before I go that far, let me finish up this Easter thing. That was a murder that they did on Jesus. That wasn't something sweet. That wasn't good. But it was allowed for us to see that we don't have to succumb to any type of sin. Jesus had a connection with God that none of us do. It was powerful. So he could have made things happen, but he didn't. He allowed it for the simple fact, in the flesh, you do not have to do anything. You do not have to succumb to anything unless you let your spirit be weak. And that's why Jesus carried the way he did. When he died for us, it wasn't for us to say we can sin now. He died for us to show us you don't have to sin. That's what it means when he died for your sins. All the sins you can make, he died to show you that you don't have to make them. Because he could have made them. He didn't. Don't be foolish. Pay attention to the words. And start respecting Sunday as Sunday is not the Sabbath day. Respect Saturday as the Sabbath day. We turn that into a day of evil. Saturday is the day that all the clubs is packed and open. Saturday is the day everybody's drinking, smoking, dancing. You know, everybody getting their freak on. Everybody twerking. Saturday. Saturday was the Sabbath day. So if you feel like you can't do these things every other day, you shouldn't be doing it on the Sabbath day. That's a day of rest, a day of respect. And now I'm going to reel it on in into what I was trying to tell y'all about these preachers. I'm going to just basically run it down the line my way. Miles Monroe, rest in peace. He was spectacular when I discovered him. Miles Monroe was a spectacular teacher, spectacular pastor. But the problem came in when he started to talk about money too much. He started wanting to talk about how you can make money off these books and how you can make money off of talking, and how much money he made off of doing it. And at that point, you could tell his fascination with the money. You know, and a lot of people would be mad at me for talking about these people because they think that men that preach are holy or chosen. They're not holy, they're not chosen. They're people just like you. You know, they just dedicated themselves a little bit more than you to God. And then some of them, they falter because they got people around them and they're human beings. So they start to think about other stuff and they start forgetting what their purpose was when they started. Some of them purpose was when they started. And so they lose focus sometimes. They might not lose focus of the whole picture, but sometimes they lose focus on what they should be doing and what they should be saying, and that people paying attention to them. They think they still teaching you the right thing. Like, he started getting more focused on how you can make money. Making money and God don't go together. So that should have never reached the church. That it had nothing to do with saving people's spirit. That it had nothing to do with everlasting life. So those are things that should have never been talked about in the church. Never been talked about in front of his students and in front of his peers. If he wanted to make money writing books and speaking over here and over there, that's fine. I don't have no problem with that. Make billions. But don't start to try to make other people feel inferior or make other people feel like that's what they need to be doing to get where they're trying to go. Joe Osteen, he's like kind of like a joke to me because he's like a puppet. He say the same thing every week, every day, however, whatever he do. I used to watch him. I watched him because, like I said, you develop, you go in stages when you're dealing with this type of stuff. And, you know, his little same old routine of his joke and his thing to say before he start preaching, and then his sermon, and then his closing, and his same old thing to where he say, okay, you saved because you said that. You're not saved because you said something. This is work. This is dedication. All these people say, all you gotta do is believe, or you can do this and you say, no. And that situation in the Bible where the guy was next to Jesus on another crucifix, and he said he believed he was under special circumstances. He was right there in the flesh with Jesus. You're not. You can't just do that. But that was put out there for you to understand that you need to believe. that you need to have the faith of a mustard seed or more. So that man didn't know. In those times, you didn't know, because the whole thing was developing at that time. We know better. We was told the whole story. These people was living it. These was the opportunities and benefits allotted to them. We don't get those same benefits because they've already been shared with us. So we can't just do this. Start thinking, people. And the other thing about Joel Osteen, before I move on, is everything positive. If you do this, you're going to make some money. And that's the other part. Money, money, money. But anyway, if you do this, it's going to be good. You do this, it's going to be good. Everything going to turn out good. This happened and this was good. This happened and this was good. No. Everything don't turn out good. That's not the way life works. That's not what God is about. God handled good and bad. Everybody talking about the devil did this. The devil ain't did nothing to you. God allows good and bad. The devil provides you with opportunities. It's up to you whether you take them or not, because the devil is the tester. He's the one put here to test us to see where's our position after this life in the flesh. And you can think you're not in heaven already, but if you believe in the Bible and you read the Bible, it tells you that you're already in heaven, because it said heaven is in between the waters of the sky and the waters of the land. Where are you at? You between the waters of the sky and the waters of the land. You're in the expanse. I pay attention to what I read. Ain't nobody got to tell me. It's right there in black and white. You can highlight it, and then it's in black, white, and yellow. You know, Joyce Meyer, another one that talk about money and talk about how she looked and how she did this and that. She ruined her face. She don't tell anybody about regrets of letting a surgeon do work on her for no reason. Because she don't have a regret. She think it's sweet. Strutting around on stage like that and all of that. She think it's sweet. I used to listen to her too. But like I said, you grow past people. You know, they got a time and a place. I like that saying that they came up. Some people in your life for a reason, some people in your life for a season, some people in your life for a lifetime. There's a lot of seasons out there. You see, every year we go through different seasons. How many seasons have you lived through? Creflo Dollar. I never liked him. My parents used to listen to him when I was little, and I couldn't stand it. And I thought his name was stupid and meant something. Now, as I got older, I found out, oh, really? That's what he's about. So, you know, God never even let me get a hold of him, because I was a little bitty kid when I was exposed to him. And God take care of these kids. So God knew about me, and he said, you have no use for him. And when I got older, I tried to watch him again, and it didn't work. T.D. Jakes. Never been able to watch him. Big time joke. I tried to watch him a couple of times because people talk about him and say how he's a positive person. He's a joke. I can't even you know, give him a minute. It's like he just weak to me. And you know, that's messed up, because these people are exposed to all type of people, and they just sorry. You know, they out for the wrong thing. Kurt Franklin. You know, I really can't say too much about him, because to me, he giving a message. I don't care how this man live his private life. I don't talk about private lives, because that's not what you're exposing to me. Now, if I was his friend and he was doing something wrong in his private life, I'll address that with him. But I'm not his friend. I don't know that man. As far as what he put on TV and his songs and all that stuff, I respect that. A lot of people want to talk about him and say he this and he that, but that man putting out positivity. If you putting out positivity and you putting it out the right way, I ain't knocking you. You know, I haven't seen him act like Mr. Holy. All I've seen is him jump around and scream with his choir. I can't knock that. Geno Jennings, he knocked Kirk Franklin for doing what he doing. I mean, and about dancing and all that stuff, but I respect Geno Jennings the most out of all these people. But once again, he's a man. And he does manly things. So when I heard him talking about Kirk Franklin, I didn't quite agree with it, because you talked about so many other people dancing and jumping around and stuff, and then you know what God did? Because I was with you. I was listening to you. You had me. You know what God did though? God showed me another video with your boy that do the reading for you. He was talking about how he was grateful to be under you and grateful to meet you and happy to be able to read the way he read and be your sidekick, and turned your church out. Everybody was in there straight dancing. I seen the dude doing the running man. Your boy that be doing the reading, he was jitting. I was tripped up, because I'm like, dang, I just watched Geno Jennings last week talk about this dance and stuff, and they're in there going, hell. The woman was bouncing. You know, I'm going to find that video. I'm going to post a little bit of it on this video. You know, that was tripped out. And then, you know, you should be hard when you're telling the word, but you shouldn't be hard when you're telling your opinion. Your opinion should remain your opinion. And the reason I'm saying these things is because Geno Jennings is a powerful factor, and I really appreciate him and like him, and I want him to expand what he's doing to everybody, but I want him to do it the right way. Don't do it because the fame got a hold of you. Because you start talking about them churches and I see that fame in your eye. You like that. I see it in your eye when you start talking about you got a church here, you building the church over here, you doing something over here with this church. You know, you like that power part. And ain't nothing wrong with that because you're a man, but remember what you're doing. And if that's what you want to do and feel like, stand on it. Don't criticize other people when they doing it, because you're doing it too. You know, don't you be bragging on those churches. And it's all right to have an opinion, you know, so don't, your opinion that you made about Christian comedy, you had a problem with Christian comedy. What's wrong with that? You know, as long as you're not cracking jokes about Jesus and God and, you know, spirituality and things like that. Basically, Christian comedy to me means clean comedy. And for me, you know, I'm a spiritual person. So all that Christian, Muslim, and Hindu, and any of this Protestant, any type of religion, I really don't care what you call it. But you said Christian comedy, so that's what we're talking about. I don't have a problem with Christian comedy. I'm not really interested in it, but I like my comedy dirty. If it got to be witty if it's supposed to be clean. Really witty, because I'm witty. So you got to really be witty to get me. I don't see what your problem with that was. I mean, why people can't laugh and have a good time? You talk and say a lot of comedy while you preaching. So you don't want anybody else to tell jokes? I'm saying let's come on, man. Let's focus on the prize, which is saving the spirit. Stop trying to rule people's life completely the wrong way. Focus on doing the right thing by teaching them God. You know the Bible, backwards and forwards. So teach them that. Stop worrying about personal life. If people gonna do things in their personal life, allow that. If you don't want comedy in your church, you don't want dating in your church, that's fine. But don't give your opinion to other people about them being wrong because they doing something to try to maintain their spirituality. They want to deal with people that's like them. People that they know, they want to hear the comedy of what they live in their lifestyle like. You know, And the dating, Christian dating, you had a problem with that too. What's wrong with wanting to date in the circle that you live in? They don't want to expose themselves to what's out in the world, what's outside of what they doing. They want to stick within the walls of what they doing. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So you knocking people down for the wrong thing. Don't knock them down, just give them your opinion. Don't tell them how wrong it is. And then you talked about how people not supposed to dress. You talked about Tyler Perry. I agree with you on the thing about how he put on that Medea stuff and all that. You helped me out with that. I don't even watch nothing where anybody doing. I don't watch no clumps. I don't watch no big mamas and none of that stuff no more. Because of you. I appreciate that from you and I thank you for that. But you can't turn around and you was having this conversation about the women walking around like dudes and having their legs open like dudes and stuff, pants sagging, and then her homeboy walking with her and he's switching and swinging his arms and body like he a girl. And so you walked across the stage like that. You can't get those examples. Just tell us. Don't give the example. Because like you said, once you indulge, you part of it too. You did it. Like you said, Denzel Washington said what he said on a Malcolm X movie, and how people say things in movies, and once you say it, you said it. It's you did it. That was what you did on that stage that day in the pulpit. So pay attention to what you're doing. And the reason I'm talking so much, like I said, I respect you to the fullest. So I want you to make sure you're paying attention to what you're doing, because you're making a difference in people's lives. And everybody not observing is me. So when they listening to you, they taking everything to heart. Me, I'm listening to you and I'm taking everything in. I respect you, but I know you're not God to me. So I'm taking things in and I'm compressing them in my brain and making sure everything is solid, and I'm trying to throw out what ain't. And that's what I'm throwing back to you right now today. I hope you can respect it. And then that leads into, you was talking about Lil Nas X, that guy. Yeah, he's I don't even like saying his name because he's ridiculous. And but my whole thing about that is, I think maybe you should really think about stuff like that when you talk about Christian comedy and Christian dating. And that's the reason I said people don't want to go outside of what they dealing with, because I didn't know nothing about this Lil Nas X dude doing none of that stuff. Only thing I know about was that supposedly top record that he had with the country dude. I never even listened to it because I'm not into that. I heard him saying something about some jeans, and that was enough for me. And I only heard that because I got kids and other kids was around and they wanted to hear it, and I turned it on. I said, no, we ain't listening to this. We ain't never listening to that. And you want to listen to it around me? And so I'm a little confused at how you saw the video where you said he slid down the pole from heaven to the other land and gave the devil a lap dance. I would never knew that if you didn't tell me, because I'm not finna sit back and watch that. I'm not gonna indulge. And I think that's how the people that's going to do Christian dating, they don't want to indulge in what's going on with the foolishness and nonsense that's out there. So, if you can, take a little bit of heed of what I'm saying right now and, use that, because you're an excellent teacher. And I would like for you to stay that way, but I want to be that brother to send some empowering information to you so that, you can keep pressing forward and taking us to the top. And the last person I want to mention is the Bible Unlocked, Brother Yerushalayim. I love his stuff. He's helped quite a few people I know stop eating pork and shrimp and all that stuff, and he gave me some education on it that I didn't know about, so he helped my diet even more. I already had stopped with the pork, but he helped me even more. So I hope I didn't touch nobody the wrong way. I hope all this was informational, and I hope everybody have a blessed day, blessed season, blessed life.